it. But the most important thing is get the ball carrier on the ground.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the front yard inside Ellis Island on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, we got Chiefs and Saints on the way. About an hour. Man, I still want to see a good replay of Dodgers and Padres and that Profar home run rob where he kind of faked that he didn't have the ball. I'll admit, I was going to go on this rant today, but then I decided against it, and then I'm like, screw it, I'm doing it. I guess I'm different than most people. I just can't do playoff baseball during football season. And I know that's the way it is, but every year as I get older, Willie, I tune out baseball more and more. And that's even with my team in it. I'm like, I am so about football during football season. And I'm not saying Major League Baseball has to bail on October, but I kind of am saying it. I would love to see him start the season earlier, play more doubleheaders, and get the hell out of the way in September. Still be going against football.
So start maybe the second week of March. They can report a couple of weeks earlier than February for pitchers and catchers.
Players Association would flip out because they don't have as much time off. But I think you're beating your head against the wall with the postseason going up against NFL in week 5, 6, 7.
You're going to have winter cities. There was a couple of years ago, wasn't there? I don't know how many years ago, but when it starts like it normally does in April, and there were cold, and the cold crept into April in some of the winter cities, and it wasn't just rain; it was snow.
Yep.
So you'd have an issue.
Or play a lot more doubleheaders, which I know the players hate as well. So I don't know what to tell you, but college football, and especially the NFL, are juggernauts, and I think college football is getting bigger. Each year, this playoff's going to take college football to a new level.
With that, who do you think is attracting more viewers? The baseball playoffs or the WNBA playoffs?
I don't know. You know, we never settled our bet. Did we look at the games?
We never got a press release
We'll have to look
game
up
2.
Yeah, games 2 and 3 to see what the numbers were, because we were betting on 975,000 viewers per game. And the first game we kind of toggled back and forth because there was a peak of 1-2, and I think it was like 945 or something. We'll look up the numbers. I would guess the way you're setting it up. Now, baseball's got to be beating the WNBA. Are these games not getting above 1 million viewers, all of them?
I don't know. I don't get those reports. I haven't seen any reports.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
you asked me about baseball versus WNBA.
No, I know.
Did you have an answer?
Oh, no. I was asking what you thought.
I think it's baseball, but I hadn't thought of it, so we'll look it up.
Yeah, we got to find that out.
I think that'd be a wake-up call. You know, it's one thing going against Caitlin Clark games where they're pushing 1.7 to over 2 million viewers. If baseball's not beating the WNBA, then maybe it's more food for thought of what I'm suggesting. Get the hell out of the way of football earlier. So on the college football playoff, and no one's going to remember this, and I don't know that I have the tapes to bring them back. I have always been a proponent of the playoff. I wish I could pull 1998 radio when I used to melt down that they were going to keep the stupid system with, 2 teams and then 4. What's going on right now is awesome. And I'll have a conversation later with Jackson Woodard, linebacker for the Rebels. They wound up losing on Friday night. He had a tackle at the end of the game. Maybe he gets a stop. Maybe that changes everything, but he just couldn't finish it off. The running back's trying to. But at the end of the conversation, I asked him about, hey, how do you guys make sure that you have, because with the group of 5 now, you have all this excitement that, hey, we can get on the dance floor. But there's a feeling like you can't lose a game, right? So how do you make sure that you keep playing hard, you see where the chips fall, and that maybe you only have one more loss, and you might be in the mix? And I truly believe that can happen because college football is getting more and more balanced. Can I give you a couple things from the game, though?
Yeah.
That are interesting to look at. One, when's the last time you saw a game that was pretty even and one team got to run 95 plays and the other ran 50? Because that's what happened on Friday night. Syracuse ran 95 plays. By the way, not truly 95. That's 95 on the box score. There were 9 penalties.
Right.
So they ran 104 plays. I was looking up the numbers on PFF. Jalen Catalon, the safety, Jackson Woodard, Jonathan Baldwin, and I think Antonio Doyle. That doesn't make sense to me, but The first 3 played all 104 plays. That's insane. I know Travis Hunter's doing something we haven't seen where he's playing both sides.
Right.
So he's in the 120s on a routine basis. But Catalan has to make, and this is no dig on the UNLV staff, Catalan has to make a key tackle on 3rd down in regulation. He gets the running back, reads the play perfectly. He's got him 2 yards short of the goal line and the not goal line, first down line, and he shakes free of Catalan. And then you saw Jackson Woodard 103 plays, officially 94 into the game, having to make a tackle. And when I talked to him today, I said, hey, what was technique-wise, where were you on that tackle? He's like, I was just too high. He's like, I got caught too high. Low man wins.
So it's funny.
104 plays.
Listen to this.
For defensive players.
I wrote in my story, in my what we call a write through for Syracuse, that what's the kid's name? LeQuint Allen. The 200-pound LeQuint Allen basically carried 230-pound linebacker Jackson Woodard did. So you know what my question to LeQuint was? How much do you squat, bro?
Here we go, right to the weight.
Because this dude.
Here we go, Griff. I'm sure the kid's like, dude, what?
No,
Squat?
he did. He
love
actually,
it?
I said, hey, listen, I got to ask you something. Maybe that had nothing to do with the game, but I got to ask you, after watching you drag somebody for 4 seconds, because I watched the replay and I counted. It's roughly 4 seconds. If you had to stopwatch, 4 point something. He just smiled. He goes, I'm pushing about 415 pounds.
Is that good?
Is that good?
I don't know. I'm not a squatter.
Griffin, educate the man.
400-pound squat.
For a running back?
For a running back, that's kind of where you want your running back to be at the collegiate level.
Yeah.
I can't have a running back out here who's 315 is his max. That's just not going to get it done unless you're
Let's
fast.
put it this way. My 1 rep back, Steve, ever was like 368. So that
right.
Kid should be pushing over 400.
He's also a 21-year-old collegiate player.
Exactly. So, but to your point, here's a kid who, with all the momentum in the world, all the motivation to get in the end zone, he's dragging a linebacker who's on his 104th snap count. He did go high, and he got drugged, but he was also tired.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's also stuck in a one-on-one situation.
Yeah.
Griffin, do you think I could drag Willie on my back for like 5 yards?
I don't know, man. It takes a different type of strength to move a human body against its will.
Against the dead weight. As someone's trying to like shake and take you down, potentially kicking at your legs to drag you.
Well,
or to trip you up.
So you know how they say, Griffin, it's like you got to have leg strength to keep driving, right? You got your quads to work your hammies. You got to activate the glutes to keep pushing. You got to have the strong core.
I
think Steve.
Baby's got back.
Steve's beer belly strength might be the key, especially after the donut eating contest.
There's still donuts left in there. I don't want to give too much information, but it's not coming out. That frosting is lining my intestines right now. It's grabbing everything I eat.
Steve tied for first.
Well, we'll get to the breakdown. UNLV is at 18.5-19 against Utah State on the road. That does seem aggressive. Now, here's the thing. Boise just took on Utah State and beat them 62-30. 30 being the key. Utah State can score, and they do have an experienced quarterback. They got a great running back. They got an even greater wide receiver. Now, you figure the Rebels are going to come into this super jacked up, but, man, 19 and a half, that's aggressive.
Well, that's just it. It's like you said, is part of the breakdown that you're not going to sit here and say, well, we're not going to blame it on the refs, right? We're gonna say that the defense broke down. So if there's one area that I want to see, that I would believe that they're going to improve this week, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. UNLV's red zone defense comes in right now after that loss, their first loss of the season, tied for 45th in the nation. So, and scoring defense tied for 39th in the nation. They're still only allowing 19.8 points per game. Turnover margin is where I think this team has to capitalize. They're tied for third in the nation at plus 1.60. So I'm not too shocked at the number, and it wouldn't surprise me if they belt this team by 24 to 30 points.
I'm so glad you brought that up. turnovers. I saw a Utah State fan say this line is ridiculous because turnovers are not coin flip spots, but unpredictable. You can't promise that you're always going to get them. And the person was saying UNLV has benefited a lot from turnovers. So there's no reason they're going to go in and smoke Utah State.
Okay, so Utah State on the flip side is tied for 110th in the nation with their turnover.
It's going to flip.
Right.
It's random.
4 straight games since beating Robert Morris. Utah State has given up 48, 38, 45, and 62 points to USC, Utah, Temple, and Boise State. 3 of those were on the road, granted, and they lost by 17 at home to Utah, a Big Ten school. So I guess it's a little precarious, but at the same token, UNLV's pissed off. And if there's one area that they're going to improve this week, it's going to be with their defense, a defense that held Houston and Kansas to a combined 27 points, held Fresno State in what many of you have said who cover this conference a lot deeper than I do, Keene being one of the best quarterbacks, to 14 points.
Yep.
So let's pump the brakes on that Utah State.
One group of 5 rankings that I was looking at: Boise State 1, Army 2, Liberty 3, Navy 4, UNLV 5, Tulane 6, James Madison 7, North Texas 8, on down to Toledo at 10, San Jose State at 12. Army, Navy, what a freaking story that's developing there.
Right? It's great.
What a story that's developing.
Well, I can't wait. Because isn't that's the oldest rivalry in college football, right? So imagine if they go into that game, that matchup, with booty holes in the loss column.
This fall in love with luxury and adventure at Finley Land Rover Henderson. Drive the car that's built to conquer both city streets and off-road trails with unmatched style. Whether you're looking for the power of a Range Rover or the sleek versatility of a Defender, there's never been a better time to explore Land Rover. Visit them today and fall in love with the ride of your life. Finley Land Rover Henderson at the Valley Auto Mall. Driving excellence, delivering dreams.
This is JT for Grimaldi's Pizzeria, that famous New York-style coal-fired brick-oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations in the Valley, Boca Park in Summerlin, on the Strip at the Palazzo, Southwest Las Vegas on South Rainbow, and in Green Valley on Southeastern Avenue.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws an awesome block so his teammate can score instead. Well, if this happens, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at the end zone. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. That's right. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Everyone knows the most exciting part of football is the score. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you have a chance to keep the fun going after the first player crosses the goal line. Place a first touchdown scorer wager today. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only, Nevada only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. MGMResorts.com/GameSense.
Las Vegas never sleeps, and neither does Busy Boots Automotive. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Busy Boots offers repairs, smog test, oil changes, you name it, 24 hours a day. Plus, free diagnostics, free towing, and a free loaner car anywhere in the Valley with qualifying repairs. Or enjoy free Wi-Fi and refreshments while you wait. No appointment is ever necessary. Busy Boots Automotive on South Durango at Flamingo and online at busyboots.com.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Have you ever felt like the odd man out at a friend's house watching the game? After years in the sports betting industry, I can teach you the rules of different sporting events so you can now be part of that crowd of cheering fans with an understanding of the game. Plus, I can teach you how to place a bet on a game, which will completely change your perspective because you too can be a winner. Join me at betmoneyhoney.com. That's betmoneyhoney.com.
Exciting news, Las Vegas. Centennial Subaru is your new Subaru destination. Conveniently located at US 95 and Ann Road. Now through October 31st, get up to $3,800 off a new Subaru. US 95 and Ann Road, Centennial Subaru. Adventure starts here.
Now back to Cofield and Company, live from the front yard inside Ellis Island on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Less than an hour until kickoff. Chiefs and Saints. Derek Carr fans certainly max motivated to see Derek Carr do well, especially while the Raiders are in no man's land right now, seemingly, with their quarterbacks. And, of course, you want the Chiefs to lose. Everyone wants the Chiefs to lose, except for the pukes who root for the Chiefs. Some of those said pukes are in front of us here at Ellis Island. But we welcome you, and we will give you prizes. We don't hold it against you. There's a lot of
Chiefs.
You know what? Here's the thing. There's like 13 different fan bases. I say this all the time. Don't get mad. I'm jealous. I don't like you. You win.
You're
That's
bitter.
it.
You're bitter.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're a bitter, cantankerous old man.
But I don't know about the old part. I can squat you. We just talked about that. Me pulling a running back, dragging you into the end zone.
That doesn't mean that you can squat me. It's got to be perfect
Your weight?
form. Yeah.
Well, not your dead weight. I mean, like the equivalent of your weight on a rack.
Right now?
I would.
That means you have to squat. Okay, so what do you squat?
I don't squat anything. I don't work out.
Then
My-
don't,
here-
then
here-
don't claim something you can't do.
Here's what would happen. Do you remember the World Strongman contest? And it might have just been straight up superstars, but I don't think it was. Where Franco Colombo had a fridge on his back
Yes.
and his leg snapped the wrong way. Like
That
it
would
didn't
be
bend in, it bent out.
That would be
That might be me. Yeah, I might go down with a broken leg.
How
with a
much do
fridge.
you weigh right now?
A lot. I don't know, a little over 220. I hope.
Yeah, I could squat you, no problem.
Gentlemen,
Of course you
I don't think you settle this under the squat rack. I think we settle this the old way. Oklahoma drills.
Yeah,
You see who really
exactly.
got that lower body strength.
Boy, oh boy, I got to tell you, and I didn't mention it early. Take some time to watch because you know old school wrestling enough. Take some time to watch Mr. McMahon on Netflix. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I forgot like how crazy that whole thing was, and he is a sociopath. And they're not even to the part where he like really goes off the deep end. But the reason I brought that up is all those big strong guys, and I was thinking of like Hogan slamming Andre, and somehow getting up whatever it was, probably 470. They said he was 520, but 470 pounds, and the momentum just to be able to pick him up, even across your chest, and slam him. That's pretty cool stuff.
Very skilled in what they do too, because it's, the opposite.
You break your ass, you get hurt, you freaking rack your back.
Right.
Trying to pick up another dude, especially if they don't jump into it. And Andre couldn't jump into anything. But what was it? Whatever year it was, 85, 86, when they had 93,000 at the Silverdome. Okay, NFL. So yesterday was another crazy day. This whole season has been wild.
More Chiefs
because the Dogs have been covering and winning outright. And what it's created is wacky situations in divisions. And I'm going to continue this on the other side. But right now, NFC North, Vikings are favored -115. By the way, from the Jets-Vikings game, I will downgrade the Vikings. The Jets were awful. I didn't think the Vikings were that great. I think their O-line is good. The run game was solid until Aaron Jones went down. Actually, Chandler was pretty good. I think their defense is okay. I got a little tired of hearing about their walk-up defense with Flores, but in that division, to win, NFC North, Vikes -115, Lions +175, Packers 7-1, Bears 15. I'll take the Packers.
You're bearing the lead.
What's the lead?
Not only, even though it's a sports betting segment.
Not
That is
necessarily.
the
I'm just-
only division.
Yeah.
Usually people say 500 and higher, records at 500 or better. That is the only division in the NFL where all four teams are above 500. Minnesota 5-0, the Lions 3-1, the Packers and Bears both 3-2. That's pretty impressive. I'm just saying, regardless of who they played, the competition, impressive in the fact that it's the only division that you could say that about. And number two, it's the NFC North. If we were to say that at the beginning of the season, Steve, I would say, okay, one division after week 5, I want to know your answer when we come back. If there was one division you were going to guess after week 5 that would be in that position, I wouldn't have said the NFC North. I'd like to know what you would say.
Get down to Ellis Island on Fridays for Red Zone Riches. They give away $1,500 or more in free play every single week at 7 o'clock. If you're a fan of football and free play, you got to be out here on Fridays for Red Zone Riches. And David Perico and the Raiders house band plays right here in the front yard from 10 to midnight.
Ditch the burgers and fries and go Greek. Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill with 4 valley-wide locations. Hungry for something new? Try our fresh, never frozen Mediterranean salmon. Enjoy Greek lemon potato waffles served with our delicious tzatziki sauce. Cool off with our ice-cold, authentic Greek frappes. Discover your new favorites at Stefano's. Order online or off the app. That's stefanoslv.com. Stefano's, since 1998. Real food, real fast, real healthy.
Don't miss the William Hill Radio Show, hosted by Paul Howard. Now live every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. at the William Hill Sportsbook inside Palms Casino Resort. He'll break down all the latest betting action, including the odds, matchups, and who bettors are backing the most. After the William Hill Radio Show, make the William Hill Sportsbook at Palms Casino Resort your home for betting with live, continuous in-game wagering. Don't miss the William Hill Radio Show every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finley Volvo invites you to discover the first pure electric SUV from Volvo, the XC40 Recharge. Volvo's first battery electric SUV is fully connected, featuring the first infotainment system designed and built by Google and powered by Android.
Hey Google, turn up the heat.
With Google Assistant, Google Maps, and Google Play Store built in, along with legendary Volvo safety, it's the SUV you've been waiting for. Learn more about the XC40 Recharge at FinleyVolvo.com.
Treasure Island has some of the best food and entertainment in Vegas. Enjoy Phil's Steakhouse, a classic steakhouse that features prime cuts of meat, seafood, and Italian specialties. Treasure Island is also home to Gillies, a longtime favorite of tourists and locals. A honky-tonk atmosphere with live music and dance floor for two-stepping and line dancing. Check out their toughest cowboy competition every Thursday with $200 up for grabs. Treasure Island, where parking is free. Visit Treasure Island and experience the best value on the Strip. 21 years or older. Please drink responsibly. Management reserves all rights.
Hey, it's Cofield. I'm with my friend Jake from Desert Springs Pools. Desert Springs Pools can complete your new pool in as little as 10 weeks. And I hear you guys do pool renovations as well.
Well, Steve, the most common thing is we come in, chip out your old plaster or pebble, and resurface it. Pool decking around your existing pool. We can upgrade your pool equipment, add a heater if you like. We also offer fully automated new panels where you can control all of your pool equipment from a click of a button on your phone and much more. And it's a lot less than you think.
Desert Springs Pools Renovations. Don't wait. Renovate.
This is John Barr, General Manager at Finley Toyota. Been thinking about getting a new truck? Now's the time. We've got huge incentives on the powerful Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. These trucks are built to handle anything you throw at them. With these deals, they're more affordable than ever. But these offers won't last. Come see us at Finley Toyota before they're gone. We'll make sure you drive off in the truck you've always wanted at the price you deserve. Finley Toyota, Nevada's #1 selling dealership at the Valley Auto Mall in Henderson.
Get ready for the ultimate hockey suite experience with PT's Taverns this October. Visit your favorite tavern to enter to win tickets to experience a Vegas Golden Knights game in the comfort of our T-Mobile suite, including food, beverage, plus an on-ice post-game photo. Earn an entry for every 50 base points earned playing with your True Rewards card this October. With over 70 taverns, there is always a location near you. Visit ptstaverns.com. That's ptstaverns.com today.
This sports update is brought to you by Dollar Loan Center, where your first loan is on us. Apply for free at don'tbebroke.com to get up to $5,000.
Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce on the need to improve tackling.
Tackling has to improve. I mean, there was, again, late in that game, especially probably like the late third quarter, fourth quarter, you saw some guys slipping off tackles. You got to grab cloth. It's all good punching at the ball. Everybody talks about it, but the most important thing is get the ball carrier on the ground.
Join the conversation. Hit up the Finley Kia text line, 702-364-1100. It's Cofield and Company's Eye on Sports Gambling, presented by Oasis Bar and Grill, only on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Kickoff Chiefs and Saints coming up in less than 25 minutes. Willie, Cofield, Ellis Island, front yard. Good crowd building here, but come on down. All you can eat, all you can drink, beer, specials. Happy hour still going on. $7 bites, $7 drinks. Also, Mega Monday. So you get one of their 4 50-ounce drinks, the Big Fish Bowl. You buy one, you get one. That's a deal. That's a deal. So we were just talking about chaos in the NFL and some of these divisions. And you were asking me about what, the AFC North?
Yes. No, NFC North. They are it's the only division where every member is above 500. If I were to say 6 weeks ago, hey, after week 5, one division, which would you say?
Say it again. After
6 weeks ago, after preseason, right before the season started. If I were to say there's going to be one division where all 4 teams are above 500.
Oh, I thought AFC North because I had the Browns winning the division and the Bengals making the playoffs, and instead it's complete opposite. I will tell you the most unpredictable division, I think, is the NFC East. Can I tell you something crazy? I might take a shot on the Giants at 40-1. I have zero confidence that the Eagles are going to win that division, and they could finish last. They're 135. The Commanders, the Commies are plus 190. Jane Daniels obviously has been fantastic so far.
Yeah.
Coaching's been really good. Cliff Kingsbury, candidate to be OC with the Raiders. Outstanding. And the Cowboys are still kind of a mystery, but guess what? They got the job done last night. They didn't play their best game. Dak made mistakes. So to me, that division is insane. The odds on the AFC North I just mentioned that I expected to be different.
Yeah.
The Ravens are minus 285. That seems stupid to me.
I'm with you where that would have been the division I would have said. And
Would you bet them at minus 285 right now to win the division?
The Ravens?
Yeah.
No.
Like, do you believe 3-2 down to 1-4 is insurmountable? Now the problem is the 1-4 team I'm talking about is the Bengals,
right?
And they just lost head-to-head yesterday. And I'm asking you questions, but I'm going to go on a rant here.
But they were leading, and so
Zach Taylor is a horse's ass, and he has shown that to be this cantankerous weenie in press conferences and have a short temper. As I was watching that game last night, I'm like, what is this guy to have? Where is he coming off as arrogant? That is one of the dumbest losses I've seen in years. They get a turnover in overtime by the Ravens. They're set up at the 42-yard line. And they jam the ball into the line 3 straight times.
Yeah.
They are playing for a 50-plus yard field goal. I don't care what the numbers are in the NFL with 50-yarders. You don't play for a 50-yarder. And then they go to snap. And guess what happens? It wasn't even the kicker's fault. He actually got a decent kickoff. Come on. Coaches know the process. It is a process that requires everyone to be on the money. The long snapper, the holder, and the kicker. And they screw up the snap, and they played for a 52-yard field goal. If I'm a Bengals fan, I am irate. Like I said, this guy shows a short temper sometimes. He's annoyed. He doesn't want to be questioned. That's how you lose the game. You get the ball back in overtime, and all you got to do is kick a field goal, and you play for the field goal from the get-go. What are you worried about, stopping the clock on a pass? You're in the driver's seat. I could not believe he did that.
With a guy like Joe Burrow.
And that's the other. You have one of the most dangerous weapons in the National Football League. Hell, you could throw something short to Jamar Chase. He might take it the distance because he did it all night long.
And yesterday he threw for a career-high 5 touchdown passes. So
what a bad loss.
He was,
And then I'm trying to build a case for, hey, the Ravens aren't. Maybe that's what the odd makers are looking at. They're like, all right, Ravens are 3-2. The Bengals are 1-4. With the Bengals coaching, they ain't coming back in this. But I'm in these this early in the season with divisional odds, I'm always going to look for some value. So that's why I mentioned it might sound crazy with the Giants, but you know who's playing?
You're talking about to win the division or to win
the division.
Okay.
Giants are 40-1. The Eagles are plus 135. Is there that big a gap between those teams?
No. What is the line now that the with the records that we're seeing in the NFC West? What's the 49ers? Because they're 2-3.
It's a good question. I'll look it up for you. Are you down on the Niners?
Well, I mean, if they're a plus sitting in third place, why wouldn't you want to get down on the 49ers?
I think you're smart. Because I forget who I was listening to today, and they were like panicking over the Niners. How about they're a different team? Yeah, you know why they're a different team? They don't have Christian McCaffrey. And Debo. You can't.
They're banged up.
Especially McCaffrey. You can't take McCaffrey out and they're like, oh, they just don't look as explosive as last year. Yeah.
No crap.
Best running back, most impactful running back in many ways isn't healthy. And Mason's gained some yards, but please don't compare it.
And you said you're not giving any credit. You're not going to bump the Vikings at 5-0 because
what I saw
what
yesterday,
are the Lions on the Lions?
What I saw yesterday, Lions are plus 175. What I saw yesterday was Sam Darnold he looked good in the beginning, and then he eventually turned into Sam Darnold. He was sitting at 11 of 26 at one point. He cleaned it up a little bit at the end. He was not good. He was all over the place.
He's not the answer, is he?
Well, that's all they got. So, I mean, my point is he a quarterback who can get the Vikings to 9-8? Probably. When people are talking about him being one of the best, the field mic in the baseball game. I love those. I love the noises.
Was it the fan?
I might have been just me. I might have yelled it over myself. Yeah, so I'm not buying the Vikings after what I saw yesterday.
All right.
Latest update on the NFC West. Niners are plus 110, Seahawks 240, Cardinals 320, Rams 12-1. You know, it's funny, when the Raiders were sputtering yesterday, the first guy that I think of at quarterback is not Derek Carr. It's the quarterback that I wanted the Raiders to try to get when he was at a low point. Who did I crow about much of this year, even going to late last year? I love Kyler Murray.
That's right.
God, he's good. You see that run from midfield? He turns the corner like 45 yards out. He's 5 yards into the run. He points up to the screen. He's like, goodbye. Gonzo. No one touched him.
They got some soul searching to do in that facility out in Henderson.
I mean,
and I don't mean about the players. They need to figure out some decisions they made in April, actually before that, and then April in the draft. They need to figure out what they're going to do, because ultimately, which I will continue to repeat and hammer home, Davante Adams is leaving because this is not what he signed up. So.
Oh, it's been the last two off seasons, right? And he even said it. And then he walks it back like, that's not what I said. It's what you were saying. 2 years ago, he made comments about Jimmy Garoppolo. And, in the middle of last season, you saw more of the oil kind of leaking. Like, man, I can't stay around for this, basically.
No, it's not what he was. He's right. It's not what he was saying to any of us on Wednesdays. But we all saw the receiver documentary. Yep. So this is still not what he signed up for. He came here to play with Derek Carr. So if you want to, we can sit here and all you want and point back to Josh McGinn and say this is his fault because this is how it all started. These were decisions that were made. But nevertheless, Antonio Pierce has had the reins for quite some time now. So, I mean, where this vehicle is going is on him at this point. And, Davante Adams is requesting a trade. It's I don't want to say it's cut and dry why, but it's pretty clear that he's unhappy with the situation, with the quarterback situation, with the personality conflicts, whatever it may be, and whatever's taking place with Antonio Pierce.
Let me give you a couple of NFL look-aheads, right? It's not a look-ahead. It's this week's lines. Early in the week. Commies and Ravens. Commanders plus 6.5 on the road.
I have already written up a preview for a site on the Commanders and the over.
So is that going to be your circa million pick? You're going to jump on it as soon as I send out the numbers, depending on where the number is?
I'm not revealing anything as far as.
Hello, don't give it away. You're right. That
you.
freaking Alex White might steal your pick. You know how she is.
Yeah, well, she's the lone expert in our group.
Yes. Eagles 8.5 against the Browns. 8.5.
I don't know what to make about the Eagles. That's the problem. Is it's not necessarily. I mean, realistically, they should smoke the Browns because the Browns are a dysfunction, just as much of a dysfunctional mess. I mean, I don't know what in Deshaun Watson's head. Honestly, I mean, Philly. This could, you know what? This could be a game. Is like a get right game.
Yeah.
Get your mind right. Get your faculties straight.
This line makes me so happy.
Philly's coming off a bye, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This next one makes me so happy because I'm sure people are going to look at this and go, "What? Chargers are 3 on the road against the Broncos."
It's a clear sign that the Chargers are the play. The bookmakers are they're begging you to take the dog, but yet if you live inside of it, the people that know better are going to be like, "Well, wait a minute, why are they laying 3?"
You're not going to take the Broncos?
I'm not going to take the game at all. I don't like it. I hate those two. I hate those two teams. I hate handicapping those teams. I hate talking about those. I mean, they're just general, not just this year. So how about giving you a pick on that?
Have you had a long history of getting burned or screwed over?
No, they're so unpredictable. The Chargers, more than the Broncos, are just an unpredictable bunch. And I just haven't figured out yet what's going on with Harbaugh in that group. So
Ion Sports Gambling brought by our friends at Oasis Bar and Grill. It's on Decatur, south of Trop. Awesome local bar, great food, great kitchen, rockin' menu with 24/7 breakfast. Right now, you get an entree, you get a free dessert. That's awesome. Free cheesecake, and they got a bunch of different cheesecakes to choose from. They got Monday Night Football with Johnny and the Monday Night Maniacs, and their Monday dinner special is all about football. Specials for the game: $1 pizza, $1 hot dogs, $1 wings, $1 tacos. You can follow them on Instagram at Oasis Bar and Grill, and we're out there with live shows. Tomorrow's our next live show at Oasis Bar and Grill on Decatur, south of Trop, 3 to 6. 3 to 6. You threw up your hand. Were you throwing up your hand at the fact that I'm kind of feeling this way that we should have been betting Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty weeks back, or maybe even the offseason, because those numbers have changed big time. At one point, Genty was 50-1. He's now the favorite.
I was throwing my
at 2-1, and Hunter was 35-1. He's now 3-1. He was 15-1 2 weeks ago.
I was throwing my hand up because you said I'm going to throw some games at you, but then you didn't conclude it with, well, is there anything that stood out to you that maybe? And there's one game on the NFL card that I don't think anybody's going to even look at this game, let alone. And the line has moved dramatically.
What a buildup! Hold it. We got RJ Clifford coming up.
The tease
In 8 minutes. UFC, a lot more on the Raiders. He's from the Autumn Windbags. A lot of wind blowing right now. A lot of wind around the Raiders after that game yesterday at Denver. Not good against Broncos.
It's Cofield. Join us this Tuesday for the live show at Oasis Bar and Grill at 3 o'clock. Stop in to see the show, get